I guess here we go, right? I'm gonna do something a little different tonight. Something I haven't done in my whole entire life for a very long time. And that is I never put my kids first, right? I was always I was always about the streets, always about people that never even cared about me. And tonight I wanna say, Jasmine, princess, I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'll never ever stop calling you my princess. Always are my princess. You gave me beautiful grandchildren, and I'm very, very proud of you. And I'm sorry that I always haven't been the great dad to you and to your sisters, but I'm happy you're still here in my life. Michaela, I'm proud of you too. And just talking to you tonight was amazing because God is so amazing, man. I'm going to do this podcast, and I know what happened talking to you a lot, and you called me tonight right before the podcast. And man, just looking at you on the phone almost brought tears in my eyes because it's like looking at myself in the mirror and just hearing your story. You having all those ambition, drive to keep going, fight. Like you said, it reminds you of me. And yeah, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry that I've been there in your whole entire life and not your life. But I'm glad you're still here. And you gave me a beautiful granddaughter. Rosa, you know you're my baby. You know you're my baby. I'm so proud of you too. I'm so proud of you. You're doing your fashion thing and you're working. You're busting your ass, girl. And thank you for still being here for me. You don't have to. You really don't have to be here for me. And you still are. You still call me. You still check up on me. Jonah, you are always will be my son. You are my son. And I'm so proud of you too, man. Doing the things you are doing for God is amazing. And I'm so proud of you. You gave me a grandson. He's so beautiful. And I can't wait to meet him in person. And to you, I'm sorry too, bro. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, my son. But I do miss you, man. And I'm so proud of you. Trinity, if you see this, yeah, Leia, I'm so sorry that I've been in and out of your life. But guys gave me a chance to be in your life. You guys are still young, and I'll be able to do things I wasn't able to do with your brothers and sisters. I look forward to being a father to you guys, and I'm not going anywhere. And I'm working my ass off to be a good father to you guys, and I will be. And I can honestly say that now, the more and more I get clean, the more and more I'm sober, the more and more I know that I'm not going to break any more promises. Vicky, Lewis, Naya, Gabi, Margaret, Jenny, Nelson, Zay. Man, I'm forgetting names. I'm forgetting names. 'Cause I'm all in my head. I'm all to the whole family. I'm so happy and grateful that you guys are still here for me, man. I know you guys gave me rough and tough love and put me to the side a little bit, but I understand. It wasn't because you guys didn't love me. You guys didn't care for me. It was because I was hurting you guys. Seeing how bad I was doing in life and how things were, and it was hurting you guys. But with that being said, I'm happy you guys are back and you guys are in my life. And I pretty much know that before me and my cousin have been face to face too much and be on good terms. But Elena, I know when you watch this, I know you're gonna watch this. I want to tell you that I love you. I miss you. And you always was. You always was. My mom's little baby girl. She loved you so much. And I love you still. And I'll still miss you. And I love you so much. I guess with that being said, man, I can go on my story, man. I just had to do the first thing I had to do was put my family first, my kids first. Something I haven't done my whole entire life. I was born in Rochester, New York, um, on the west side. It was kind of a rough neighborhood. I was one of those kids I always played football, played sports. I was always the one that always wanted to be the show off of the whole crowd, right? And I can remember trying to always hang out with the older kids, always trying to hang out with the older kids. And I guess that's probably where things probably started because I grew up too damn fast, man. I grew up way too fast. You know,
My mom, man, my mom, she was an excellent person. She was a really great person. She she took care of so many people, invited people, so many people into her household. It wasn't funny. Some people probably gonna watch this podcast and they're gonna probably be one of those that my mom fed and my mom took care of. I paid it no attention. I gave all my attention to the streets, and that's where I guess my life was becoming where it's at now, and I didn't even know it. And most of us don't know it, that we're setting ourselves up for failure. And that's what I did. I put my friends first, put my family last. I can remember being a kid and seeing these guys always drive by with the cool cars, and I'm always pulling them over, pulling them over, pulling them over, and like, hey man, what's going on? Want to see the? Can I wash your car? Can I wash your car? And then not knowing, man, I was asking for a rude awakening because one day they stopped and said, yeah, you can wash my car. So I stopped playing football with the friends and I got in the car with them. My first time smoking weed was with them. And I didn't want to say no. I wanted to be cool. So I started smoking weed with them. And then it was just regular hangout, just hanging out with them. Then little by little, I started still crying over here. My nose is running. But about a couple months later, they said, hey, we're gonna ride with Jose. And I'm like, who's Jose? And it was one of the cousins. And then we end up being in a parking lot somewhere, and we're saying we're gonna go steal these radios out these cars. We gotta go get them for such and such. Mind you, I'm never gonna say nobody's real names. I'm not here for that. I'm not here to tell anybody else's story. And if you guys ever deal with somebody that's telling somebody about themselves, leave them alone, man, because they're gonna do the same thing to you. All right, so I go steal my first car stereo, and I was really hyped about it. And we come back and they give us some bread, and I got into a habit of that. So I started stealing car stereos, and then start car stereos turned into to stealing cars, and it became a habit. And then all of a sudden, I started hanging out with bigger boys. They started drinking. Little by little, I was 12 and 13 years old, thinking I was in my 20s. I used to always try to kick it with girls that was older than 22, 23. It's about little boy, you better leave me alone. But I always thought I was grown. And I can remember hanging out with my cousin one day. I was drunk. I was only like 14. I was hanging out with my cousin, and he came out with some white. So he came out with some white substance, and I said he said, you ever tried this before? And I said nah, but let's do it. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Me trying to grow up, me trying to be big and bad and trying to be tough, and I did what I did, and I enjoyed it. So that led off to another part of an addiction that I didn't know that was going to hurt me in the long run. I thought it was cool, and so on and so forth. I went to jail at I went to jail at the age of 16. The cops were always wanting to take me away from my mother. And they always brought me back to my mom. They couldn't wait. They couldn't wait for me to leave. I mean, to get 16. And on my 16th birthday, I went to jail. I was just thinking about all the trauma and stuff that I did to my mom, man. And it's just killing me just talking about this stuff. And so yeah, I go to jail at 16. And my mother, man, she has my back, telling saying that, oh my God, my son didn't do it, my son didn't do it, my son didn't do it. She always had my back. I don't know, maybe that told me that they gave me courage, I mean the things to keep doing it. Because my mom will always think that I never did it, so I kept doing things, and my mom always believed that I did it. But then again, it goes apart about being a liar. I was a liar. I lied my whole entire life. As I got older, I I thought I wasn't an addict. I didn't think I was an addict because I only did it on weekends. And because I did it on weekends, I thought I didn't really have a problem. I was I was really only thinking about myself. And this is hard for me, man. This is really hard for me. I'm gonna go a little fast forward to where my life really got fucked up, man. Because I never thought addiction was real or even even a part of life until a couple years ago, man. I had on top of losing my mother, I lost my job, I lost my career, I lost everything, right? And I'm not blaming nobody, man. Like at that point in time, I was blaming everybody in the world. You know, I was blaming my ex-girlfriend. I was blaming everybody that could be around me. When I woke up one morning, I went to a hotel room, right? I went to a hotel room with like $25,000 in my account. I woke up to negative 2,000. Out of all that stuff that happened, I was accumulating friends that were only there because I had money. And then when I woke up negative $2,000, I woke up alone. I woke up not knowing where I was going to go, what I was going to do, and I ended up back on a block where I left a long time ago, back to square one with nothing. It even came down to a point where my cousin came to the house where I was at. I didn't take a shower for like 3 or 4 days. I was dirty. Didn't know what I was going to do. I was so stressed out. My cousin brought me some food. Mind you, this is something that this is weeks from me having everything I had. I had everything that I thought I did. At that point, I thought I had everything. But so she bring me food and stuff, and this is where after that happened, she brought me some food. It became worse. I found myself getting high on drugs just to stay out of the depression mode. Because when I wasn't doing drugs or doing alcohol, I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to die. My phone call stopped. Like I didn't have nobody to talk to. I had nowhere to go. But it's just like it's just like in life, man. There's different levels. There's different levels. When you're doing good, you be around people that are doing good. When you're doing bad, you don't have to worry because there's going to be other people doing bad. And exactly where I was at. And I'm not judging nobody because shit does happen and some people just don't make it out. And I had a chance. God gave me a chance to make it out and I fucked it up. I wasn't humble. I wasn't giving back and I got fucking cocky, right? And because of that, it was taken from me. And I thought I was one of those guys that thought it'll never ever happen. I was always pointing at people, that shit will never happen to me. That would never ever happen to me. And it did. And it did. I'm not going to sit here and say what kind of drugs I did because I can tell you because I'm not, I don't I try to I'm not going to say what kind of drugs I did because it's one thing that I mastered was never talking about it because you glorify it. When you start talking about it, you start saying its name, you give your mind a trigger, and that trigger makes you think about that certain drug. So I'm not going to say the drug name because I'm not going to glorify it or give it any type of props. With that being said, I did some drugs, I did some shit, but I did it because I didn't want. I couldn't deal with the fact that I didn't have a family no more. I couldn't deal with the fact that I didn't have no one to call. I didn't have nowhere to go. So when I did some drugs, it made me feel on top of the world again. It made me feel like I was doing the right thing. And it made me think a lot of other shit, but it made me feel good at the time. But every time I did, when I wasn't high or drunk, I wanted to kill myself. Up until I can tell you this. To my journey to where I'm at now, I was staying with a friend. My first rehab I was going to go to. I was staying with a friend, and it came down to the point where this dude asked me. He said, "Yo, man, let's go steal. Let's be school. It'll pick me up, and we're gonna go to Walmart. We're gonna go to Walmart, and I go steal some shit. We go get some shit. I don't steal, man. I don't steal. We don't do that stealing shit. But the drug at that time was telling me, yo, pick him up, and you can go get some. You can go get high. You can get fucked up. So I went and picked him up. I went and picked him up, and we're like 2 minutes from Walmart, and I said, yo, bro. I said, man, I'm taking you back, man. I said, I ain't going to, I'm not going to steal shit. I'm going to rehab. And I called a rehab and I went to fucking rehab. Right? So here I am. I'm in rehab, calling my family. Oh, yeah, I'm doing good. I mean, talking to bullshit, but all reality, man, I wasn't right still. I still wasn't right, man. I wasn't right. I knew that. Well, my family being my family, they really thought that maybe, yeah, this is it. But I got out of rehab. Came to Albany, where I'm at right now. My kid's mother gave me my kid's mother gave me another chance to be around my kids. You know what I mean? I still wasn't ready. I had like maybe 4 or 5 months clean, and so I was um I was going to this bar every single day. I mean, not every single day, every week, because I would go do some CSL plasma and get some money from there. And every time I go there, I would go into this bar to use the ATM. Just one day, man, one day I just said, you know what? Ain't nothing wrong with a drink. And this goes to show you, man, when they say if you hang around a barbershop for a long period of time, you'll end up getting a haircut. I end up getting a good drink. It tasted so good at the time that I thought, I was like, oh, there's nothing wrong with this. It was something that the disease is telling me that I needed. I needed to feel good. So I left. Came back next week. It turned into 2 drinks. A couple weeks later, it turned into me not calling my kids. I was going to get an apartment. I had the apartment all set up for me and my daughters. It was brand new. One never lived in there. The day I was supposed to go give up the money for the apartment, I went and got some. I went and got some something to drink. And the next day, I didn't have the money for rent. I didn't have the money for a place for me and my kids. So then the depression kicks in, and the disease tells me that I'm doing all the right things. You're doing right. Just keep getting high. Keep getting fucked up. Keep getting. Don't worry about it. It's telling me that I'm gonna make the money back up. I'm gonna make the money back up. Reality, man, it only put me right back into rehab. In reality, it took my kids away from me again. In reality, I was back to square one. So I get out of there, and I came up with this big old. Mind you, I'm still fucked up mentally in my head. I'm not, but being an addict and being an alcoholic, you come up with all these stories and lies inside your head. You come up with these lies, and you start to believe them that they're fucking true, and they're fucking not. So I'm sitting here telling my family, I'm looking, oh yeah, I found a place in Florida. I can go to Florida, and everything's gonna be all right. Jenny, everything's gonna be all right, Jenny. They're gonna let me stay over here in Florida. You know what? My family believes me, and they care for me so much. They end up paying for a flight to a place called the Surrender House in Florida. Um, so I get flown out there to Florida. Uh, I'm doing really good, man. I'm doing really good. I'm hustling to find the jobs. I'm finding my job. Um, the job I find, they go get a 6 pack, a 12 pack right in the morning. Right in the morning, they go get a 6 pack right for work, and they're working at a highway. I mean, so they're like, Joe, you want a drink? I'm like, nah, bro, I don't want nothing to drink, man. I don't drink. I don't drink. That's what I say. I don't drink. 2 weeks later, it was Friday. They going up, and I'm starting to get along with them. We're joking around. I'm getting comfortable, and I said, fuck it, why not? Why not have one beer? And I cracked the beer. I drank it. I drank another one. Cause they said, man, for somebody that don't drink, you drink a whole lot. But that was the addiction. That was me just trying to catch up. I think that was just me trying to catch up to what I haven't been drinking. We get pissed at we get random pissed tests and stuff at this program I'm at in Florida. So I go home. I stopped drinking. On the way home I stopped drinking. So just in case. So here I am. I'm thinking that I got away with it. Okay. The next week me and the people at the house, we end up going to a bar. We had a couple of drinks there. And then a couple weeks later, I end up getting too fucked up at work. After work, we get crazy hammered. I end up calling the dealer. Long story short, I get kicked out. I get kicked out the surrender house. And Carrie Ann, man, she's a beautiful woman, man. They're still in my life now. They're still in my life now, but they had to kick me out because it's part of the rules. But they got me a place to go, and I get out of there. I go to another spot, and here I am thinking that I'm gonna make it. I'm still gonna make it, right? So I get out of there, and then I go to where do I go? I go back to Rochester, and I'm still not right. I'm still fucked up in my head. I'm still not right. I'm fucking still fucking up, and I go stay at my niece's house. I call my niece like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm in the park, fucked up. She says, "Theo, you can come stay at my house." You know, being an addict, being an alcoholic, and being in depression, and being sad, and being just not giving a fuck about life. I manipulate this, the whole situation. I just did things I shouldn't have done, and I was using drugs and alcohol behind my family's back. Speed it up a little bit. December 27th, 20 is my anniversary. Is the I went to rehab. What was different about this rehab is where I want to tell you about God, right? I know probably a lot of you guys probably don't believe in God, and that's all good. That's all good. But I know there's a God and I know there's a devil. Been to both sides, seen both. I've been on both sides, and to tell you what, I don't like the devil's side. There is a God, there is a creator, and I know firsthand. Excuse me, I know firsthand there is. So I hear about this program called Ready, Willing, and Able. Right when I'm in rehab, they're saying, "Oh yeah, man, go there. They help you get a job and all this other stuff." So I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'm all for that." Mind you, my mind's still not right, man. I'm not ready. I'm not ready in my mind, but I'm willing to take a chance. So I get to uh I get to Manhattan, New York, right from rehab. I had one pair of socks, one pair of shoes, a hoodie, a shirt, no ID, no nothing. I have nothing at all. I have nothing. I'm in Manhattan. I take my sweater off, use the bathroom, I come back, it's gone. It's gone. But before that, I'm in this huge shelter, big shelter where I didn't know I was supposed to go. Like nothing is going right. And now my first thing is like, yo, I want to go to here. I want to go get high and fuck this shit. I'm in a big city. But this dude came up to me. So I told about God, right? This guy, I swear, I believe he's my angel. He said, "Hey man, everything's gonna be all right, man." He said, "You gotta go somewhere, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "I want to take you there." I'm like, you want to take me there? Because they had to even go to another shelter in Brooklyn. So I go to the shelter. This guy takes me, which I believe is my angel. It gets me all the way to where I gotta go. Mind you, New York City is a really big city, and it's hard. It's real easy to get lost. He takes me on the train. He does other stuff. He said, "This is your stop." I said, thank you so much, man." I walk about 15, 20 feet. I look behind me. He's gone. He's nowhere to be. He's nowhere to be in sight. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, boom. So I go to this another shelter, right? And this is why I believe that things really happen for a reason, and that God really sets you up. He sets you. He gives you your path to go, man. You just gotta look and find it and search for it, man. It's right in front of your face. So I go into the shelter, and there's like 500 people here, and I've never been in no shelter in my life. But I'm willing to go to this program, but they told me I have to go here first. So I go into this program in Brooklyn. The shelter, and I sign up. I go to sleep. I wake up the next morning. I see my counselor, and she says to me, "All right, cool. You're gonna be here for a couple of weeks. You see your other counselor in like 2 3 weeks." I said, "Ma'am," I said, "Ma'am, with all due respect, I didn't come here for a shelter. Like I didn't come here for a shelter, ma'am. Can you just hear me out, please?" I said, "There's this program called Ready, Willing, and Able, and he said I had to go through this process to get there." And right there, she said, "Okay, sir." She said, "Hold on one second." So she comes back and says, you can come back here. I go talk to this other lady. She says, "You're just in luck. You're just in luck." She said, they're willing to see you. Pay attention to what I'm about to say, because this is where it gets real at. I go to this program, and they have us sit down and have you fill his applications out. And he says to me, one guy pulled me in the office. He's like, "Man," he said, "You don't have no ID, bro. You ain't got no social security card." I said, "No, man, I don't, man." He said, "We're not supposed to take you, man. We're not supposed to take you. We can't." He said, "But something's telling me that you're going to get an ID. You're going to get a social security card. Something's telling me to tell you, hey man, you're gonna stay here, man. I believe you're gonna stay here. I know you're gonna do what you gotta do. So just tell me, bro, another chance. I'm telling you, like, yo, God, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, um, I'm still, I still, I still have, still, I'm still like confused on where my life's gonna go. I really don't know what I'm gonna do still. And this is where things really like really changed in my life. I go to this, I go to this window and I see these kids, man. I see these Ecuadorian, Venezuelan. I don't know where they are from, but they're handsome little young men. Handsome young men sitting there, they have good clothes on, and they're looking through the garbage. And I'm like, okay, looking for bottles, right? The one kid grabs, he grabs this aluminum foil, right? Grabs aluminum foil, and he smells it. He goes, he opens it up. It was food in there. I immediately got on the ground. I started crying. I'm not lying, man. I started crying. Got on the ground. I said, God, please don't let this happen to me, God. Please don't. I swear, God, please let me just have another chance in life, God. Please don't. I don't want to be like this, God. I don't want to have. I said, God, please. I said, I pray for these children, and right that second, when I was praying, every single drop of depression, every single anxiety, every single thing that I had inside me was gone. It was completely gone. I was like a new man. And I said to myself, yeah, God, this is what you want me to do. 'Cause I felt compassion. I felt what was going on. I felt so sad for these. And when I prayed and I said, God, I don't want to be like this, I felt he said, well, go fix it. I got up, I went downstairs, and I asked the chef guy. I said, "Hey, can you get these guys some food for me?" He went outside and gave these kids some food. Right? He gave these kids some food, and after they was done eating, they were so happy to eat this food. It made me realize that we as people, we stress about the littlest shit, man. And it can be the littlest things that can make someone happy. At that point in time, I understood my calling. Right? I understood my calling, man. And my calling was to give back and to be there for people that just need someone to say I love you. Be there for people that are going through some shit in life, man. I believe I've been through some shit in my life to do what I'm about to do now, what I'm doing now, is being for somebody that needs some help. Man. I'm not gonna keep saying we, because I don't know how y'all feel. But I know me as a person, me as God fearing man, I know all it takes is to say I love you to somebody and to show somebody some compassion. I don't care if they're using drugs or they're homeless. It's a reason why they're going through some shit. There's a reason why. And when people sit there and they judge people because of what's going on, why don't you fucking ask somebody what is really going on? And if you're going to care for somebody, don't care for them just one day. Don't care for them 2 days. Don't care for them every other week. Care for them consistently because they fucking need you. And that's what my mindset is now. After that happened, man, after that all happened, I continued on my journey of just to keep helping people. And the more and more I helped people, the more and more I was there for people, the better my life got. And there's one thing that I forgot to tell you, man. When I took accountability for all my actions, when I took accountability for every fucking thing that I've done, when I stopped lying and I told the truth, my life only got better. The more I tell the truth, the better my life gets. The more I give back, the better my life gets, man. I'm not ashamed no more to tell you that I'm a fucking addict. I'm not ashamed no more to tell you I was a liar. I'm not ashamed no more to tell you I was a bad father. I was. But I can tell you right now, I'm grateful to be a father again. I'm grateful to be around my family again. I'm grateful to be here to sit here and try to save somebody else's life. I'm blessed to have another day. I'm blessed, man. I'm so grateful to have another day with my family and my children. And we all know that being an addict and a user, a lot of us don't get those chances. They're gone, man. They don't have a chance to tell their family they love them. They don't have a chance to change. And if you're here and you're an addict and you're going through some shit, you have a chance. You still have a chance to live. And I love you.
And I would have fight my fucking ass to keep going and make videos, I care if I make 1,000,000,000 videos. I wouldn't make because I know there's one that's gonna reach out to you and save you, man. I would say, well, this is it. This is my story. But it's not. That'll be up to my kids when I'm gone. It'll be up to them to tell you my story. I'm Joey. I'm the creator of Joey Back to Recovery. I thank you so much for watching this. And if you have a family member that's going through some shit, just tell them you love them. Be there for them. They need you. Have a good night. I love you. Stay blessed. Remember to pray.